Hello everyone. We are going to continue our discussion on the second unit, real numbers. This is the second video of this unit. So in this video we are going to learn about irrational numbers. Okay. So in this particular video we are going to learn what are irrational numbers, how to represent irrational numbers on a number line, decimal representation of rational numbers, period of a decimal. Okay, these are the things we are going to learn in this video. First, we'll see what are irrational numbers. Suppose we have a right angle triangle A, B, C. Okay, here this makes right angle. Angle B is 90 degree. Okay, AB is 1 unit and BC is 1 unit. What is the length of AC? How can we find out length of AC? Using Pythagoras theorem, we can find out length of AC, right? We know that by Pythagoras theorem, square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of square of other two sides. That is here, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Okay, AC square is, so we know that AB is 1 unit. Okay, AB square is 1 square 1 plus BC square is 1 square 1. So AC square you will get as 2. Then what is AC? AC is equal to root 2. Right? Is root 2 a rational number? So what is meant by rational number? Number which can be written by the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers. Right? Whether this root 2 is an integer. This is not an integer. Right? So root 2 is not a rational number. Fine. Similarly, root 3, root 4, root 5. So what is irrational number? Number which cannot be written in the form of P by Q. Right. So irrational number is a number that can be expressed as an ordinary ratio of two integers. If you can write a number like P by Q in the form of P by Q, then that will be a rational number, where P and Q is an integer, Q not equal to 0. If you cannot write a number like this, then that number is a irrational numbers. Okay. Suppose if we take root of 2.25. What is root of 2.25? You know that 15 into 15 is 225. Right? So when you take 1.5 into 1.5, you will get 2.25. So root of 2.25 is 1.5. So you can write this as 1.5 by 1 or 15 by 10. Here 15 is an integer, 10 is an integer. We have written it in the form of P by Q, and here 10 is not equal to 0. So this is a rational number. Okay. Take root 4. Root 4 is equal to 2. Right. 2 can be written as 2 by 1. So here also root 4 can be written in the form P by Q. Okay. But when you take root 5, you cannot write root 5 in the form of P by Q. Suppose if you take root 5 by 1 also, root 5 is not an integer. So we cannot write this root 5 in the form of rational number. So this is a irrational number. Numbers which cannot be written, expressed as an ordinary ratio of two integer are called irrational numbers. Okay. So examples are root 2, root 3, root 5, 2 root 5. Okay. So we know that pi. For finding the circumference of a circle, we use pi, right? That pi is also an irrational number. You can ask me that we have taken the value of pi as 22 by 7. Okay, this is in the form of P by Q. But the real value of pi is not equal to 22 by 7. We have approximated it to 22 by 7. Okay. Still, there are many researches going on to find the value of pi. but for our convenience we have approximated it to 22 by 7. Okay, so I will tell you what is the value of pi. Okay, so here this is the value of pi. Okay, 3.141592653. So we have infinite number of terms after the point, infinite number of decimal terms. Okay, it is not ended here. This is only first 100 digits. Till many researchers are going on to find out 400 digits of. Still many researchers are going on to find out the value of pi. Okay, so we cannot write pi in the form of rational numbers. So pi is a irrational number, but for our convenience we have approximated it to 22 by 7 or 3.14. Okay, and then E is also known as Euler's number. Okay, this is also a common irrational number. You will be using this E in your higher classes. Okay, and value of E is 2.71828. This is also a first 100 decimal digits of E. Okay, so pi, E are all the common irrational number which you will be using in your future classes. Okay, E is known as Euler's number. Fine. So a number which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q, that is, which cannot be expressed as an ordinary ratio of integers, are called irrational numbers. Okay. Now we'll see what is golden ratio. Okay, the golden ratio has been heralded as the most beautiful ratio in art and architecture. Okay, so first we'll see what is golden ratio. We have to take a line segment and divide it into two smaller segments, A and B. Okay, such that A plus B by A is equal to A by B. So this proportion, this is called golden ratio. Okay, and this golden ratio is also called as golden mean or golden section. This golden ratio is also an irrational number. Okay, so there is an interesting fact about this golden ratio, that once we meet in normal classroom I will explain you what exactly is golden ratio. In every picture, every art we can find out golden ratio, every pattern we can find out golden ratio. Okay, so that we'll discuss once we meet in our real classroom, because it will take more time, and if I want to explain golden ratio it will take me at least 1 hour or more than 1 hour to explain what exactly golden ratio is. So once we meet in our real classroom we'll learn what is golden ratio. Now you have to know that what is golden ratio. So when you take a line segment and if you divide the line segment into two smaller segments, such that ratio of the whole line segment to the segment A is same as the ratio of segment A to the segment B, that is A plus B by A is equal to A by B. We have to divide, we are dividing the line segment like that. We can divide. Okay, now we will move to representation of irrational numbers. First, consider the number line. Okay, we are considering the number line and take 1 unit. So this is 1 unit, right? And from 1, draw 1 unit perpendicular to 1. So draw 1 unit perpendicular to 1. Then join these 2 points. That is, if you take this as 0, this 1.1 as A and this point as B, join these 2 points. Okay, now we got a right angle triangle. Here OA is 1 unit and AB is also 1 unit. Okay, so what will be the length of OB? Since we have right angle triangle by Pythagoras theorem, we know that the length OB is root 2. Okay, now we have this length as root 2. take this length in your compass, okay, with O as center, with radius OB, draw a circle, right, that will cut the number line at this point. So since the radius of the circle is root 2, this length is also root 2. So we got the length of root 2. Okay, this point is the value of root 2. In this point we can mark root 2. Okay, so representation of root 2 number line is here. Again draw one unit from this point which is perpendicular to this line. You will again get a right angle triangle, right? This length is root 2 and this is 1. So here you will get by Pythagoras theorem root 3. Now measure this distance as a circle. Measure this distance in our compass and draw a circle. Okay, then you will get root 3. If we continue like that, we will get root 3, root 4, root 5 on the number line. Okay, so we will see a small video to get a square root spiral. Okay, see the video.
First, try to understand how to construct a square root spiral. For this, all of us need to know the Pythagoras theorem. All of you know Pythagoras theorem, right? So suppose I take a line of 1 unit and I draw a perpendicular on it of 1 unit. And if I join these two, now I have constructed a right angle triangle. I name it as O, A and B. Now from Pythagoras theorem, I can write that OB square is equal to OA square plus AB square. Now this distance I have taken as 1 unit. This is also 1 unit. So OB square, if I need to find out, then OB square is OA is 1 square and AB is 1 square. So this will give you 2, right? So OB will be root 2. So this distance has come out to be root 2. If I draw a perpendicular again on this line, I can draw perpendicular, then again I will be constructing a right angle triangle. Children, you can use either protractor or I am using set square. This is, I feel easy, this is 90 degree. So I just make it 1 unit again and I join this. Now I have constructed one more right angle triangle. This is 90 degree. This I have taken as 1 unit. So we will just use Pythagoras theorem again in this triangle OBC. So in that triangle OBC, I can write that OB square plus BC square will give you OC square. So OC square is hypotenuse, OB square plus BC square. Now what is the value of OB? OB is root 2. Root 2 square plus BC is 1 unit we have taken. So this is 1 square. So what is root 2 square? Root 2 square is 2 plus 1. OC square it is. So what will be the value of OC? OC is root 3. So this length of OC will be root 3. Now in the same way, we can construct perpendicular again on this line. On that, then again one more right angle triangle we will get. But you have to see that this distance every time we are taking it as 1 unit. So 1 unit here I am taking as 2 centimeter. So again if I can draw a perpendicular, then if I join this, then according to Pythagoras theorem, it should be root 4. You can see it is exactly 4 units. What is the value of root 4? Root 4 is 2. right? And 2 centimeter I have taken as 1 unit. So 2 and 2 means 1 and 2. So root 4 is exactly this length is 2 units, which is correct. So in this way we can go on constructing a right angle triangle, and this way we can construct the square root spiral, root 2, root 3, root 4, root 5, etc. So let us start the construction. So again, how to start? I am taking the construction as starting the construction. I am taking the base as 2 units. So this is my point O, and on this I will start with making a perpendicular. Again children, you can either use your protractor or set square. I am comfortable, it is easier. So I am using this set square. So this 90 degree, this will be, if I use, this is 90 degree. So I'll use 1 centimeter, 1 unit I have taken as 2 centimeter. Okay. So this will, if I join these two, this first thing is your root 2. Now in the same way, I will go on constructing the spiral. So this way we can construct a beautiful spiral.
So when we construct a square root spiral, we'll get a spiral like this. Okay. When you measure this length and same length here, so first we have to measure this length using a scale, and same thing you have to take here. Okay. That will give us root 2. Okay. Or you can use your compass. Okay. And take this distance in your compass and draw an arc or circle. You will get root 3. Now take this distance in your compass and draw an arc or circle. You will get root 4. Okay. Similarly, you can find all the root 8, root 9, root 10, root 11 like that. So this is how we will represent irrational numbers on the number line. Okay. Now we'll move to decimal representation of a rational number. How can we do that? Suppose if you have a rational number in form of fraction, that is p by q, by long division method you will get the decimal representation. Okay. So first we'll consider these three examples. 7 by 8. So do long division method. 7 by 8. Since 7 is less than 8, take 0 point, add a 0 here. So how to divide 70 by 8? How many 8s are 5 8s are 40, 6 8s are 48, 7 8s are 56, 8 8s are 64, 9 8s are 72. Right. So 8 8s are 64. Remaining you will get 6. Right. Add 0. 7 8s are 56. Right. Remaining we will get 4. And then 0. 5 8s are 40. Okay. So remainder is 0. So when you divide 7 by 8, you will get 0.875. Okay. Remember that the remainder is 0. When you divide 7 by 8, you will get 0.845. Remainder is 0. Now divide 21 by 25. Since 21 is lesser than 25, make a point. So add a 0 here. So how many 25s are 210? We know that 8 25s are 200. Right? 8 25s are 200. Balance 10 will be there. Add a 0. 4 25s are 100. Right? So remainder is 0. When you divide 21 by 25, you will get 0.84 and the remainder is 0. So 21 by 25 is equal to 0.84 and the remainder is 0. Now divide, take this one, minus 87 by 32. Okay. First we'll divide 87 by 32, then we'll take the negative sign. Okay. To do this. Now we are going to divide 87 by 32. Okay. 87 by 32. Do with me. 2 32s are 64. Remaining you will get as 3. 8 minus 6 is 2. 23. 23 is less than 32. So make a point 0. Okay. So we will get 230. And 7 32s are 224. 32 into 7. 2 7s are 14. Balance 1. 3 7s are 21. 24. 224. Okay. So 32 7s are 224. 224. The remainder is 6 here. Since we have already taken point, you can add 0. Okay, in 60 there are 132. 132 is 32. Remainder is here, this will become 5, this will become 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, 28. You will get 280. So 32 into 9 sir, 288. Right. So we have to take 32 into 8. 2 8s are 16. 1 8 is 2 8s are 16. 3 8s are 24. So you will get 256. 32 8s are 256. Okay. So here you will get 8 256. Okay. So now subtract here. This will become 7. This will become 10. Okay. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 5 is 2. 24. Okay. You will get 240. And we know that and we know that 732s are 224. So 7 224. Now subtract it here. This will become 3. This will become 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. Okay. 3 minus 2 is 1. Now you will get 160. Okay. 32 into 5 sir. 2 5s are 10. Balance 1. 3 5s are 15. 160. So 5 is 160. Remainder you will get 0. So when you divide 87 by 32, you will get 2.7185. Right. And the remainder is 0. Here, since here we have taken minus 87 by 32, the answer will be minus 2.7185. And when we do all the three things, we got remainder as 0. Okay. When you get remainder as 0, the decimal will be having finite number of decimal places, right? So if a decimal is having finite number of decimal places, and by getting that decimal, if you get remainder as 0, that decimals are called terminating decimals. Okay, when you divide 7 by 8, you got 0 point something, right? And you got remainder as 0, and the decimal is finite number of places. Okay, when you take this minus 87 by 32, you got minus 2.7185, right? After decimal, here we have 4 decimal places, finite number of decimal places, and got remainder as 0. Such type of decimals are called terminating decimals. That is, the decimal places will stop. Okay, and you will always get remainder as 0. Now there is a question. Can the decimal representation of a rational number lead to form of decimal that do not terminate? Okay, so is it possible that the decimal places is not going to stop, which means we are not getting the remainder 0. Okay, so we will take some examples. Represent the following in decimal form. They are given 4 by 11, minus 4 by 11. Okay, now divide 4 by 11. 0.0 we'll get. Okay, 3 11s are 33. Remainder will be 7. Since we have already taken point, you can add 0. Okay, 6 11s are 66. Remainder 4. Again add 0. 3 11s are 33. Okay, remainder 7. Every time this remainder 7 will repeat. Again we'll add 0. We'll get 6. 66. Then you will get remainder 4 again. So this process will continue. So here itself you got remainder 7. Again you got remainder 7. Right. Here you got remainder 4. Again you will get remainder 4. So this will be 0.36363636. It will go on repeating. Okay. So here the decimal places is not terminating. Okay. Now see 11 by 75. 11 by 75. When you do this also, the decimal places will repeat. Okay, since 11 is less than 75, make a point and add 0 here. Okay, so 11 by 75, we know that 175 is 75. Okay, the remainder will be 35. Right, 11 minus 7. So we'll take this 10, this will become 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, 10 minus 7 is 35. Okay, and we'll add 0 here. 275 are 150, 475 are 300, 575 are 375. So 475 are 300. Remainder we'll get 50. Add 0. Okay, then 75 4s are 300. So 75 8s are 600. Okay, 75 8s are 600. 75 7s are 5 7s are 35, 7 7s are 49, 49 plus 3, 52. Okay, 525. So we have to take 75 into 6. 75 6 that will be 450. Okay. Again you will get 50 as remainder. So the remainder 50 is going to repeat here. So when you divide 11 by 75, you will get 0.14555 like that. So in these two examples, the decimal places are not stopping. So those decimals in which the decimal places are not stopping, or where we are not getting the remainder as 0, those decimals are called non-terminating or recurring decimals. When we take a rational number, it can be either terminating or non-terminating. Terminating means when you proceed the rational number by long division method, if you get remainder as 0, the decimal places will get stopped. Okay, those decimals are called terminating decimals. When you do a rational number by a long division method, if you are not getting remainder as 0, and if the remainders are repeating again and again, the decimal places won't stop. at that time we are calling that decimal as non-terminating or recurring decimals. Okay, so any rational number can be expressed by either a terminating or a non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. Okay, the converse of this statement is also true. That is, if a decimal expansion of a number is terminating or non-terminating and recurring, then the number is a rational number. Okay. So now we'll see the reciprocal of natural number. What is reciprocal of 1? 1 by 1 is 1, which is 1. Okay. So this is terminating. The decimal places is stopping. Right. So now we'll move to the next natural number 2. What is reciprocal of this number? This is 1 by 2. What is 1 by 2? Divide 1 by 2. Point. 0 point. Then you will have 0. 5 2s are 10. 0.5 you are getting a remainder as 0. So here the decimal places are getting stopped and you have got remainder as 0. So this is also terminating. Okay, now we'll take the third number, that is 3. Reciprocal of 3 is 1 by 3. When you divide 1 by 3, since 1 is less than 3, you have to take a point here. So you will get 10. Okay, 3 3s are 9. You get remainder 1. Add 0. Again 3 3s are 9. Remainder 1. So here the remainder 1 is getting repeated, right? So 0.3333. So instead of writing 3333 again, what we can do is we can write 0.3 on the 3, on top of the 3 write a line. Okay, that represents the non-terminating or recurring decimal places. Okay, so if it is written like 0.3 bar, then this means that this 3 is repeating infinitely. Okay, so now we'll move to the fourth natural number, that is 4. When you do 1 by 4, which you will get, okay, 0.0. 2 4s are 8. Remainder you will get 2. If you add 0, 5 4s are 20. So here we have got remainder 0. So this is terminating. When you do 1 by 5 also, you will get terminating. But when you do 1 by 6, divide 1 by 6, 0.0. 1 6 is 6. Balance 4. Okay, 0. 5 6 are 30. 6 6 are 36. 36. Remaining you will get 4. Again add 0, 6. So this 6 will get repeated since you are getting the remainder 4 again and again. So how can you write this? 0.1 upon 6, right? The dash. Okay, so this is also non-terminating recurring. Okay, since you are not getting remainder as 0, this is also non-terminating and recurring. Now 7, 1 by 7 is also non-terminating recurring. Okay, 1 by 8 is terminating. 1 by 9 is non-terminating recurring. 1 by 10 is terminating. Okay, so when you are getting remainder as 0 and if the decimal places are not repeating, then that is called non-terminating decimals. And if the decimal places are repeating and while division you are not getting the remainder as 0, then it is non-terminating and recurring. Okay. Now we will see what is period of a decimal. In the decimal expansion of the rational numbers, the number of repeating decimal is called the length of the period of decimals. So when you divide 1 by 3, you are getting as 0.3333. So the number, same number 3 is repeating again and again. Okay, so here one number is repeating. So length of that is, period of this decimal is 1. Okay, now we'll take more example to understand what is decimal expansion. Divide 22 by 7, 25 by 7. Okay, 25 by 7. Okay, 1 7 is 7, 2 7s are 14, 3 7s are 21. So remainder you will get as 4. Okay, now take point 0. Okay, 5 7s are 35. Okay, then the remainder will be 5. 0. 7 7s are 49. Remainder 1. Okay, now add 0. 1 7 is 7. 3. Add 0. 4 sevens are 28. Okay, 2 will be there. Add 0. 2 sevens are 14. Okay, 6 will be there. Add 0. Now we have 60. 1 7 is 5 sevens are 35, 6 sevens are 42, 7 sevens are 49, 8 sevens are 56. Okay, remainder 4. Add 0. Now again we will get 5, 35. So this will repeat again, because again we have got a remainder 4. Here also we have got a remainder 4. So after these many decimal terms, the numbers will repeat. Right. So how many numbers are here after the decimal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 6 is the period of this rational number. Okay. So 25 by 7 can be written as 3.571428 571428 571428. So it will be repeating. So we are writing a dash on the 571428. Okay. So it has a period, length of the period of decimal is 6. Period of this decimal is 6. Okay. Now take the second one, 27 by 110. Okay. When you divide 27 by 110, since 110 is greater than 27, make a point and add 0, 270. 210s are 220. Okay. Remainder will be 50. 410s are 440. 0, 60 you will get. Add 0. 510s are 550. Remaining 50. You will get 500. Again 4. In this video, we learned what are irrational numbers. Numbers which cannot be written in the form of rational number. That is, numbers which cannot be written in the form of ordinary ratio of integers are called irrational numbers. And we saw how to represent the irrational numbers on the number line using square root spiral. And then we saw decimal representation of rational number, right? So any rational number can be expressed either in terminating form of decimals or non-terminating recurring form of decimals. Terminating means when you proceed a rational number by long division method, if you get remainder as 0 and the decimals are not repeating, then that is called terminating decimals. Okay, and when you proceed the rational number by long division method, and if you are not getting remainder as 0, and if the remainders are repeating again and again, and in decimals, if the decimal places are repeating, then it is called non-terminating and recurring decimals. Okay, and when the decimals are repeating, the number of repeating decimals are called length of the period of the decimal. Okay, I hope you understood this video. After going through this video, answer this assignment question. Exercise 2.2, first one and second one. First one, you have to express the rational numbers in decimal form, and you have to write which kind of decimal expansion is that. Okay, whether it is terminating or non-terminating. And in second one, you have to express that 1 by 13 in decimal form and have to find the length of the period of the decimal. Okay, thank you. We'll meet in next video.